Okay, we have a problem that has formed while waiting for our dam to fill up. Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in Mannington. The snow is coming in, which I might have briefly mentioned this last time, but I'm so excited to have snow in our game. Oh my gosh. I would never play the snow maps in City Skylines 1 because you can never get rid of the snow. And so it's just, after a while, I was exhausted of having a snow-covered map. Having a map where there's dynamic weather and the snow and the seasons change is amazing, except for this straight line of snow over here. Very strange, very strange. All right, so what are we doing today? So last part we left off, we've got a few abandoned and collapsed buildings, but that's okay. I mean, you guys are really over here pretty close to some crappy stuff. But what we're going to work on today is I want to kind of address some of our services and some of the issues we're having with some of our services. There's an accident. This motorcycle was involved in an accident. Who owns this motorcycle? The driver. Kate. Kate, are you okay? You were shopping. You're a senior. You're educated. You're back on that bike. That's right, Kate. You have very strange looking arms. Okay, they loaded in. Interesting helmet, Kate. Nope, you lost your hands. Okay, Kate. Okay, all the citizens actually look a little strange. Couldn't tell you why. Where are we headed to? Oh, you need some gas. Great, get some gas. Get some gas from the Bumber fuel. Love it. There's actually 3 competing gas stations here, along with 2 over here. So we really, if you need gas, we have gas options. Okay. So I want to work on and kind of focus on, one, leaving the simulation running. I'm not going to pause as much as we've been pausing. One, I want to keep things moving. I want to start filling in Hawthorne Corner, but the big infrastructure projects we were working on last time, especially, namely, really, this train, I didn't want to delay or cause any issues with our cargo, so I paused it for this to happen. I do want to start, though, by building this sports field. We're finally, we've been making positive money here for a little bit of time, and with such a massive difference, I mean, we are making double if not more than that, the amount of revenue that we are to our expenses. So we can start building some of these more expensive pieces. One of them is the sports field. This gives plus 40 outdoor recreation, has a $15,000 a month expense attached to it, but that's part of what was the impetus for this key wall here. I wanted to be able to place the sports field right along that road without having any issues with the what is it called? It's been a few days. What is this? Contour lines. Yeah. Whew. As you can tell. Slow. A little slow. All right. What I want to focus on today, like I said, is our utilities. So we're at a moment right now where we are fully importing our electricity from an outside source. We have not built a power plant in our city yet. Right now we are importing 21 megawatts of electricity. If we head over to our economy tab, we can look at our services trade, and we can see that our imported electricity is costing us $105,000 a month. This is our monthly balance. If we jump over into our electricity, for example, if we just looked here at our small coal power plant, which can produce 20 megawatts, basically what we're consuming, right, just below, it's going to cost between $10,000 and $70,000 a month. So what I want to go ahead and do is jump into our electricity progression screen and figure out which kind of pathway we want to go with our progression. But before we purchase this, I know for a fact I want to have this water treatment plant. This is, oh, we already have it. We already unlocked it. Huzzah. Okay, so we have 6 points we could spend just in here. If we wanted to go hydropower, we would only need to spend 3 points. Now, the hydroelectric power plant, do we have a decent place that we can maybe build that? I mean, if we look at the water here, there's not a huge hill anywhere feeding this water to us. The water is pretty flat. I guess this is going downhill. And frankly, I mean, you could actually maybe come right along this massive gap here and turn this into some kind of lake, presumably? That could be an option. Fill this up and have this be the hydropower plant. This is going to be where the downtown mainly focuses, but that could be pretty groovy. We would have to also grab this land, and I guess this land as well to connect it. So we would need to spend $100,000 and 6 permits to expand that far. Alternatively, instead of going this route, we could go ahead and grab these emergency battery stations and either go for the geothermal plant, which the geothermal plant converts underground heat into electricity while generating only some air and noise pollution, produces some noise pollution in the process, flowing water into electricity. I guess, or we could also go solar if we wanted to go solar. Photovoltaic cells generate electricity from sunlight. It is stored in batteries during daytime and fed into the network during nights. As power is generated from sunlight alone, power output depends on the weather, but the plant also does not produce any ground or air pollution. It can be upgraded with a backup battery, an advanced tracking system, and high voltage substations. Okay, I think, why don't we try out the hydroelectric power plant? That would give us, that would be 3. And as a backup, okay, yep, we're going to go ahead and do the hydroelectric power plant. We still have 3 development points available. So if we wanted to go with geothermal, or we can't seem to get this to work, then we'll easily be able to shift over. Got a quick little autosave there. Let's come on over here and grab all 6, which are somehow cheaper now than they were before, but that's fine. All 6 of these land tiles. Man, words. What is it with me and words? All right, let's see if we can do this. A dam that spans a river and produces electricity by harnessing the flow of water. Because, like, theoretically, this could be the dam. It would cost $3 million. But I think what we have to be mindful of is, if I went from here over to here, we go up 18. But if I go from here to here, we still go up. I'm looking at the slope here, underneath of the 595 in the middle. It's showing me that the slope is 21. What I'm trying to figure out and make sure that I'm mindful of is, I guess we could just do this here with contour lines on. If I were to span from here over to here somewhere, distance too short, elevation too low. It's an expensive thing to build, but it would begin to fill things up. I'm just trying to make sure that we're filling up the right section here. If I came from, like, this point exactly, it can go right here, +0. It's perfectly flat. It would change this interior area pretty substantially. I think it's worth a shot. We see if it works. I just did it. I just spent $3 million bucks. Okay. Ooh. Some gnarly clipping on the back end here. So what has to happen next to make this work is, I guess we have to have a road and power connection here. So let's go ahead and we have a highway here. That feels excessive for the time being, just for the sake of getting this built. And because we just spent an insane amount of money. Let's go ahead. Wait a minute, that's a +48? Oh no, +3.2, okay. So now we've connected this up via road. It's not perfect. I just want to see proof of concept. Can we get this to work? If it can work, then we can get fancy with how we set all this up. But if I were to take this power line, right? How much is this? Only 400? Yeah. Let's just waste a little money here. let me just connect this together and let's see, can we make power? Usage 100%. 345 kilowatts, 303 kilowatts, efficiency 1%, low water depth. But that water is going to start to rise, right? Yeah, it's already starting to rise. Okay, okay. This might be working. Let's be smart about this. Let's go ahead and clear out any trees that are inside of this basin here. Brush strength 100%. Let's go all the way up. We don't want any trees in here. Get rid of them all. I'm just curious how this is going to go. We're kind of forming the map to our needs. Now, my one concern is... Actually, no. This is a pretty high hill. I think this water is going to be basically stuck inside this bowl. Got a few more trees here we want to get rid of. A few there. You can see a few here now that we've zoomed in a bit more. I don't love that this isn't center, but once this starts spewing water out, that's going to kind of change, I think, how some of this river works. Let's see. We're still at 1% efficiency. It's costing us $100,000 a month. However, if it's actually producing 132 kilowatts per month, not only are we going to be producing 6-7 times more electricity for the same amount of monthly upkeep, but we'll be making so much power we should be able to export this. Something else that we can do in the meantime, I don't think it would hurt to go ahead. Let's soften this area. We have it still on, what is this on? Strength is on 50, which is perfect actually. Let's soften this area a bit. And this roundabout here is mainly just meant to be a turnaround. But I'm curious if I am still allowed to build kind of off of it. Maybe what I need to do is build over this direction and then build forward. Can I keep the roundabout? No. Unfortunately, I cannot, which means that I need to come back and put the roundabout back in. So let's go ahead and place this here. Put in, I believe we were doing a small, maybe a medium round. Let's go a little bigger. Let's not. It just ruined that building. Quick little pause. Nope, we're not pausing. We're not pausing this episode. We're not pausing this episode. Okay, in lieu of doing that, let's upgrade this road here to just be this tiny little kind of empire lane. It's the smallest little road we have. It's adorable. We're just going to send this up to here for now. Doesn't have to do anything special, but what I want to build off of this little road is going to be our transformer station. Transforms high voltage currents coming from power plants to low voltage currents. Great. Kind of along this highway here, right? I actually want to... Can I just scoot it over? I want to scoot it over because what I want to do... Now I'm just getting fancy. I'm also kind of stalling so that we can let that power plant fill up because that's really what I'm here for. But let's go ahead and just place a few oaks over here. Get a little tree coverage so that anybody driving by is not going to have to stare at this power plant. And I will go ahead and slap on a little anarchy here. It is deleting some of the trees I think that it's just too close to. Maybe not. Not entirely sure what's happening there. Just going to keep vibing with it. Okay, so now we've got decent coverage here. These are the wild bushes. Yeah, that's exactly what we want. Well, you know what? I'm not going to question it. I did have to, unfortunately, I did have to load this game twice, so they still haven't been able to patch that mod issue. I just went through and reconnected our dam. Oops, I'm smacking buttons on my keyboard. Directly into this transformer station. Now, interestingly, the transformer station... Hold on, if I can get it to hover. Let's just click on it. 100% efficiency, transformer capacity 80 megawatts with the usage of only 1%. So I have a feeling that we're not going to be able to see the fruits of our labor until this dam totally fills. We're not there yet. As of right now, we're still at only 1% efficiency. You notice we are getting some fuller water here, which is great. We got some great water pooling. While that continues to pool, I think I don't want to work on the road yet. I don't want to do any of that until we know for certain. I mean, with these extra 18 points, like we have 230-some-thousand, we could go ahead and buy a few of these spots just because we know we're going to use them eventually. So let's go ahead and buy this area here. 7 of our 18 tiles. Let's grab that one too. So 8 of 18. Go ahead and purchase. Can't hurt. Now we just have some more land that we can begin planning and working with. And if this dam actually works, then I can figure out how this highway is going to be set up. And with the expansion of our road network over this massive set of trains we have here, which, by the way, passengers waiting 13 lines 2, there are how many passengers here? 11 passengers with 2 people there. And also, it looks like you can hover. Yeah, 11 of 840, 18, 8. Yeah, this is fantastic. So we are getting some usage here. Let's go ahead and shift over now while we wait for the electricity to our water and sewage. So as of right now, our sewage treatment, we are able to meet the demand that we have. We're having no issue there. But if we look at the pollution that is showing up here on the map, you can begin to see the effects of this pollution kind of in this little cavity here, this little inlet that's happening. See how brown things are turning. I've watched some videos and I've seen some pictures online of people who have ignored the sewage for most of the game because technically, again, we're not even at capacity. We're not even at a third. We're only doing 35,000. So we have capacity for 100,000. If that was the only metric I was using to measure this, this is going to become a poop river really quick. And to make matters worse, I just blocked the poop river from getting rid of the poop water. Now, also, our river here is drying up, and I will have to come in and maybe readjust the location of this river once the dam begins to let out some water. Okay, so what I want to do is, while we still have this in a manageable position, there's not a ton of sewage water going out, let's address our sewage. We just purchased the wastewater treatment plant. Processes sewage and purifies it of pollutants. The treated water is then pumped back into the water network. The removed pollutants become garbage to be collected, can be upgraded with an advanced filtering system and an additional processing unit. Medium noise pollution, low air pollution, low ground pollution, purification rate 50%, has $120,000 a month upkeep, which is notably higher than our upkeep for our sewage outlet. However, it can treat 400,000 a month, which is 4 times the amount of treatment that can be done by the sewage outlet. We'll build this and we'll never need to build another one, or at least not for the foreseeable future. I will also say our trade is still very expensive and our services upkeep looks to have gone up because we are now maintenance and resources. Yeah, we're now paying this additional $112,000 a month because of the electricity, or excuse me, because of the dam. So soon that will change if we can get it to work. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and place this guy down. It appears I can place this anywhere. However, knowing it has a little bit of air pollution, I want to make sure I'm placing it somewhere that is blowing the air pollution away from my residence. I wouldn't mind just placing it along this road. Along Cozy Street could be really a prime spot for this. I say we place it right here on the corner. Let's keep the trees if we can. Let's place it on this side. We now have a water treatment plant. its upkeep is 120 a month. It is able to manage a ton of sewage, only 3% usage, and it's doing a little bit of water output. Fresh water is needed all around the city by citizens for their everyday needs, as well as the company's affairs. Oh, okay, so it's taking in water, I guess, and also putting some water back out? Unclear. But we should be in a place now where our sewage treatment is through the roof. Okay, phenomenal. So let's go ahead, jump over here, and just say goodbye to this sewage line. We don't want it. It's got to go. Now, let me get underground again. And let's go from here all the way to here and just get rid of that line. And now, hopefully, what's going to happen is the current here that is flowing incredibly fast is going to be able to start clearing out this sewage water pretty quickly. And once this dam begins to function, we will be able to see the sewage begin to clear out. Okay, we're still at 1% efficiency. It's saying it's producing now over 200 kilowatts, which is great. I think we first saw it when we placed it around 300, so I'm hoping that that's where we're going to get here. And just thinking ahead about our city, we can still purchase two, essentially, definitely one, essentially two tiles in some places in this whole area here around the new lake that we're building. We're coming to that moment of truth where we're starting to hit the edges here, but this is the perfect spot for a dam. It is going to be this beautiful lake, which will be a great feature for our residents. All right, she's still not pumping any electricity out though. We're still at 1%. So we're gonna have to let it keep going. So let's see what else we can work on. We took care of water. We took care of, we think, electricity. It's also winter now, so things have gotten a bit more blue. Soon we should maybe have some snow. Let's check on some of these other services. Healthcare. Doing okay except for over here. Actually, and while I'm thinking about it, we know we also want to grab probably at least those three other tiles. Let's go ahead and buy those as well. We're not afraid of expansion in this episode, that's for sure. Because I would like to maybe do a little bit of growth over here while we wait. I don't think I need to necessarily do any roads at the moment because we have tons of people ready to move on in. Let's go ahead and fill this area with some additional houses. And then I'm going to switch to the North American style. We have a little bit of demand for commercial. And we've begun this low density kind of neighborhood here within Hawthorne's Corner. But we don't have much commercial over in this area. So I think what I want to do is I want to go ahead and fill a little section with commercial. The question is, what kind do we do? Because we also have a demand for some mixed housing. So we could consider maybe right here. I think let's just try it out. What if, now that we have this park here in Washington Glade, this like man-made park that we've created, what if we were to go ahead and just do a little bit of mixed housing with apartments and shops? That's going to satisfy two of these demands. There's a small desire for offices. We really don't have a ton. This is very residential. It almost feels strange to me to have some offices, but I think let's just pick like one little section. The offices don't seem to get too large. Skyscrapers, which needs to be level 10, we're far from that. That's where I think we're going to get that height. So it would be nice to have a little commercial, I think, zone here in the center, because you're going to have a lot of people living over here, and we're going to want to be able to get them to and from work. So let's make a little square here of commercial. Little commercial, little office. Surrounding this will end up being residential, which, as we've done already previously, I think what I want to do is go ahead and kind of fill these in just like so. Really, this one, we can flip this script. Put, oh, autosave. put all of this here. Now, these are the North Americans, so they're going to look a little different, these 3 blocks. We can switch back to this version as well and maybe do... Let's just fill these 3 blocks like so and let the game fill those in themselves. It might look a little strange. We might have to change it up, but we're going to give it a shot. While we have some of this stuff building in, let's jump back over here. We were looking at healthcare for a moment. Healthcare capacity is looking pretty fine. We've got 30 people who are sick and 100 capacity, so we're doing okay there. Cemetery availability 98 are occupied of 5,000. Again, doing fine there. We are going to begin to have issues with garbage, so let's try to figure out this key here. We've got some buildings that are green. Okay, but garbage accumulation seems to be low. So if it's low, I wonder if we're doing all right. I know it shows that our garbage processing status is 258 tons per month, and we're only able to process 99 tons per month, but no one is seeming to struggle with trash piling up. Are we able to increase the number of vehicles, or are we not using all our vehicles? 5 of 20. I think we're doing okay here. We might not need to do anything with garbage just yet. We're back here giving it another shot. We're 291, 284, 256. Okay, we've got 8 employees. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that TikTok where the lady goes, "You are
now one of my elite employees."
I find it hysterical. Okay, employee happiness 10%. Not enough good employees 59. That's fine. Low water depth 1%. Minus 99%. Oh, okay. Next to each of the items, we have either plus or minus a percentage, and then on the far right is the total. So employee happiness is bringing us up to 110%. Then without enough employees, we're down to 59. Then with the low water depth, we're down to 1. Okay. What else we got on here? We're not going to worry about trash. Now, I did see an issue with, not fire. That was fine. I saw an issue with police earlier. Washington Glade has an issue here, but otherwise, you know, not terrible. Not mad about it. Have we done anything with the post? We have not. I don't believe the post works. I'm pretty certain it doesn't, but we're going to run with it anyway while we're waiting. So, post office. This is also, this was a part of DLC in the first one, but in this game, they're giving it to you kind of in just the base game. It handles local incoming and outgoing mail, post vans and trucks pick up mail from mailboxes around the city. Citizens can also drop off their mail directly at the office. It can be upgraded with extra garbage can be upgraded with an extra garage and a storage extension. It has low noise pollution, but that's it. Nothing crazy. We are running into... No. Monthly balance, 875. Oh, what is this number then? Current trend, 39,000. An hour? Oh, we're fine. Okay, so let's play some post offices. Why not? Now, we do have this little area. I built this at one point off camera. It has just a few commercial buildings as well as a... what is that? It is the telecom radio mast. We have a radio mast. So why don't I go ahead and see if we could fit this here? It's going to knock into that pathway. Or we could even have a post office kind of here on the corner. See, it works best. It works best right on a perfectly square corner. And I will say, this area, it's not necessarily a park, but it has always stayed a green space. I think this is one of those moments where we would absolutely place a post office. I wanted it right along the edge, but I'll take this. That's totally fine. What if we do operating districts? What if this post office services Elizabeth Square, Coleridge Bluff, and Fairview Ridge? Okay. Okay. Then what if we have a second post office that's sole purpose is to support this neighborhood? I know that I want to have a road come down and over. So if as long as we can still fit a road down and over, we can place this either here, or I know we have a few taller buildings here, but there's no reason we couldn't place a post office in here as well. kind of across from the train station. So this post office will service... Oh, milestone 7 unlocked. We're a busy town. We got a $1.6 million, 7 progress points, and 9 expansion points. We're going to check this out in 1 second. I do wish that I could see what districts were already being serviced by something when I'm clicking on it. So for example, this post office here is servicing Elizabeth Square, it's servicing Coleridge Bluff, and it's servicing Fairview Ridge. This post office, you're not going to service Coleridge Bluff. You're going to service Elizabeth Square, Manor Acres, Washington Glade, I guess Hawthorne's Corner, and Sunrise Gardens. You're going to service kind of this half. I do want to get rid of Elizabeth or Coleridge Bluff from here. So if I click on it now. Okay, we don't see. Perfect. So we have one post office here, one post office here. I wouldn't mind another post office, to be totally frank. And I think I'm going to place it down this way. I know we don't necessarily need it because we look like we have pretty decent coverage. But maybe I won't. Maybe I won't. Let's go ahead and just do a few mailboxes. Let's just kind of continue looking at some of our options here. I've not done anything with the administration building. It might be time to do that. Education-wise, we are getting near the point where we're totally full on our elementary school. We only have one. I think it's about time we consider placing one over in this area as well. High school's doing fine. We never built a college or a university. They are going to be coming up shortly. We definitely have to get on that here. We have 11 tourists taking the train per month and 799 citizens, which is phenomenal. And then in terms of trains and trucks, we're doing pretty decent here with our cargo movement. We are getting great coverage with our brand new post service. Pretty decent, almost perfect coverage with our telecom systems. We did place a few parks in the last part. I think, now that I'm thinking about it, I would like to get large sports parks. So now's as good a time as any to look at the snow. It's snowing.
I asked for it. I've been asking for it. I got it. It's snowing in my neighborhood.
Look at our city during the winter time. Hey, everybody, bundle up. That's so exciting. I will say, though, I'm super glad that this is just a season that will eventually go away, because if this was what we had to play with the whole time, it would kill me. But I'm so pumped about it. Okay, let's go over here and check on what we got building out here. We've started to break down the rigidity that we had with all the houses facing the exterior roads, which I kind of like because I want to continue breaking this section down to a point where it just becomes these single family homes. For the time being, let's make sure we're only in North American style. Let's go ahead and fill in the remainder of this section as well as this section. That's going to help with this little bit of demand we have. And I think I'm going to fill in one more spot of commercial and residential medium density. All right, before we continue to get further distracted, let's see what we've unlocked here. So we are now a busy town. We are level 7. We got an increased loan limit, we got ore mining, and we got the gated community policy, which we have not done anything with. Now, what's really exciting is our next major milestone is the big town milestone, where we're going to begin to get high density housing as well as oil drilling and increased loan limit, but I'm really pumped about the high density housing. Then Great Town, we get that high density business, high density offices, additional policies, which is really exciting. And then I don't know if there's a whole ton we get. Yeah, we just really unlock more loan limits for now, and more land expansions and progress points. I'm sure these will all begin to get filled out as expansions come out in 2025, but for now, that's perfect. So let's go ahead. We have 10 points. Let's start buying some stuff. I know I want large parks. Done and dusted. We are purchasing that. I need it. Only gives us 6 points to work with. We have a post-sorting facility, processes and stores mail. I don't know if I care about that too much. A server farm is a collection of computer servers maintained by the city, and they are used to supply the city with more network capacity. Telecom Tower provides a wide range of telecommunication services ranging from intercontinental television broadcasts to long-range cellular networks, greatly increasing network capacity citywide. Okay. I don't really care about water. Air I could get into. And eventually we're going to want Subway. I don't know if we need Subway now. And to get Subway, we would need to spend 6 points, which feels aggressive for what we have. But okay, something to consider. We could go ahead and scoop up this welfare office for 1 point, which I don't think would be a terrible idea, which also could lead us into City Hall. The City Hall is a center for different branches of local government. A more efficient bureaucracy lowers loan interest rates, as well as the price of imported goods. Oh, that's great. And then a central bank houses stock and resource traders, as well as financial advisors and loan officers, whose combined work lowers loan interest, reduces the price of imported goods, and increases export profits. Oh, that's cool. There's some really neat buildings that I've not actually played around with yet, so this is very, very exciting. I would also not mind increasing the efficiency of offices and industrial companies. Yeah, I wouldn't mind maybe getting the university and then the technical university, because we could increase the efficiency of the offices and industrial companies. Whereas the medical building increases the efficiency of healthcare services, which is great, but I would argue the technical university is a much stronger play. I kind of want to get the welfare office. I'm going to sit on it for the moment, just for the moment. I just want to think about it a little bit longer before we go any further. I love these buildings, by the way. There are 45
elite employees
in that building, which is exciting. We're having some issues with not enough customers and then a number of abandoned houses over there, which is just something that's going to happen. We can't do anything about it. Let's go ahead and do some additional row houses. I think we're just going to go and fill these just like so. Let that begin to fill up and get a little funky. We'll do the same thing over here. This is going to mean that we've kind of capped this area. And I wonder if... I think this road in its entirety gets removed. And instead, because we know we're running into an issue here where we are having far too many people go into elementary school. This is a known bug. They're working on it. I'm going to place an elementary school here along Moore Street, I think. Before we place it, what I want to do instead, I want to grab... Yeah. I want to grab this little alleyway. And we're going to place this alleyway straight here. It gives me another strange triangle. I am okay with that. Let's keep the strange triangle. But now what we can do is we can place our elementary school right up along the edge here, next to all of our beautiful new homes. Now this gives a place for Hawthorne students to attend. And if we click on Hawthorne's corner, if we break down our residents, we have 111 children and 83 teens. If we go to Elizabeth Square, 397 children, and how many teens did we have? 214. Now, I can't really limit this elementary school to not serve Elizabeth Square, because if we did that, then we'd be screwed because it's in the middle of Elizabeth Square. But we can go ahead and try to increase some of our capacities here. More space for pupils. We didn't already have that? Oh. Build that right off the bat. And let's go ahead and do a few extra things here. An attached clinic that helps children recover from injuries. I don't see how that could be a bad thing. We already have the park on that side. Maybe we save this for this building here. Since this is so close to some of this dense area, we could place this building kind of along the back here. Better yet, let's place our playground. Yeah, let's place our playground right along this edge. Then we'll place this building kind of right in the middle behind behind the school itself. I can't tell with the shadowing. Is there a path connecting? There is. Okay, there's a path connecting there. But now we have this extra little path here that has no connection. So what we're going to do is I'm going to place a little bit of do a little bit of path work. Nothing wild. But I do want to have just a bit of pathing along the edge here. Let's go ahead and send a path to here. We'll go ahead and do a little curve moment. Okay. It did, oddly enough, extend the driveway further past that, which I don't know why it would do that, but who am I? Let's go ahead and do one more little bit of path work. Let's go ahead and just turn all this off. We're going to connect this up just like this right here, and then this path is going to connect up just like this right here. Okay, so now we have like an additional little campus there, which I think is great. We are starting to get more demand for offices, which is very exciting. And eventually, I think that's going to mean that we need to be doing some further investment in our college. But for the time being, that's a 2-lane road. I think this is going to be a 2-lane road as well. I was going to leave this area here blank. I am now deciding that I don't like that idea. I think that this needs to kind of blend in a bit better with the surroundings, and immediately that road is getting used, which means it was much needed. We can send an alleyway up. Let's just have this lock on the angles here, and maybe on the zoning cell grid. So let's go over 32 meters, and then we'll do the same. We want to snap to existing geometry and go over 32 meters. Okay, so now we have this little area. I'm going to, just for the time being, cut off any zoning along there, as well as any zoning along here. Again, these roads are not going to stay. But what I want to try to do is I want to try to force a little development right here. This development can go back to being the smaller homes. Kind of blends this up to where our school sits. And for now, we're going to leave the path, just so that we can let some things grow in there first. All right, let's go check in on our glorious little infrastructure project here. We have 1.5 cinder blocks. There we go. Only took me, what, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour to remember what it's called? Cinder blocks. So we've lost an employee, and we've actually gone down in electricity production. But we're getting ever closer to this being full. We did purchase the welfare office, which I could see great benefit to this being built. Maybe on the other side of these train tracks here. Does this service most, if not all, of the region right now? Most of the region is serviced by this. So what if, or do we want to place it? Oh, we just can't with the train line. We can also place it somewhere over here. That doesn't feel central enough. That is pretty far, tucked in the back. And I don't really want to build over top of anything we already have. Although, he says that, and like this would be a fantastic place for the welfare office to go. Right here on the corner. The problem is I have some like beautiful detailing I did that I don't want to let go of. In the meantime, well, let's pause on that. Let's place a bit more offices. I think they're a good use of this space. And then maybe the welfare office. What is our contour lines looking like? This is relatively flat. Maybe the welfare office does just go right here on this edge. I don't think I would hate that. On the corner of what? Poplar and Hillside? I think we place the welfare office here. We go ahead and do an additional road that comes out 90-degree angle to there. We're still dealing with mostly flat land, which is what we want. And we're next to not only the welfare office, but right over the bridge is, or right over the road is our train station. So I could argue having a very, very large parking lot, it's not perfectly flat, but that's okay, would be valuable to our citizens. We could also consider trying to connect this up. What if we did this? Oh man, okay, hold on. I want to move this just 1 unit for now. Then let's grab our path. We're going to send the path straight on down to here. Get it to lock onto that 180. Actually, you know what? Send it out just a touch further to here. Now let's see if we can get this to curve underneath. We can't actually do anything related to the train station, but we could kind of meander this over to this side. So now you have another connection over to Washington Glade. And then alternatively, we already have this crosswalk, so you can cross over, and in. But this just gives you another meandering path. I am just patiently waiting for this dam to turn on, and I'm hopeful that after all this work, it will turn on. So for the moment, we are going to just hang out and wait. We'll jump forward in time here with the magic of some video editing, and I will let you know if this dam works. Oh no. Okay, we have a problem that has formed while waiting for our dam to fill up. It looks like there's an area here that is causing some overflow into some of the only viable land that we can build on this side. So I am going to make kind of an executive call here because I do want to have this land here available to us. Let's make this a lot of it smaller. Right, let's go and just do that. Let's grab this site height here. Let's grab this height here. Let's grab this height here. Just kind of roughen it up a little bit. And then we're going to just come over here and do some light smoothing. So now it's going to cut that off from everything. And frankly, I mean, I don't have, we're going to do it this way. I know I don't have technical access to this yet because this is outside of my area, but if you turn on anarchy, you can kind of come in and just get a little wild. So we're gonna get a little wild. I'm gonna just kind of smooth this area out. Doesn't cost anything to terraform, so I don't feel bad about this at all. Clear out these trees that are now in this water. I got some terraforming to do. Can you just like show me that? Blink twice if you agree. Breathe if you agree. I mean, it's getting up there. It's getting up there. The employees, I will say, these elite employees are mad happy to work here. They are so pumped, and I don't know what exactly that they are doing because the gates have not overflown. They have not opened. The water is getting pretty high. The housing market stinks. I know it does. And it's gonna keep stinking until I get this all sorted. Let's delete some of these abandoned homes. You want a better housing market, go ahead and fill all that up now that you have some more options. Anything? Anything. I think we just have to keep waiting. We are now nearly at the tippy top. We are is that, whose water is this? Is this coming out the middle? I mean, graphically I just don't see it coming, but is it flowing? Oh my god, guys, it worked. Oh my god, we have liftoff. Houston, we have liftoff. We're getting water. Look at the speed. Look at the speed. Electricity. Huzzah. All right, so we are producing 50, 60 megawatts. Don't stop. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing amazing work over here. It's really just remarkable. My power lines are a bit of a cluster at the moment. For now, this is so exciting. I just can't believe this worked. So we're gonna have to do some work on this inside area here. I mean, I think that we could probably plan to leave this all open, but I wanna let this kind of settle out a bit. We'll see where the water starts going. We've got trucks moving. This is now producing only 98 megawatts. 99, 100. The efficiency is only at 6%. Low water depth. I think that's gonna keep getting better as the water continues to flow out and fill the lower level of this dam here. For the time being, we have created a massive lake, which I want to kind of get in here and do maybe some fun little terraforming. This side here looks great. This looks like trash, and then this over here also looks like trash. So we're going to have to work on it a bit. Oh, man. This is awesome, though. So we do have a working dam. The efficiency has dropped even further. And that's mainly because we lost another employee. We need some more educated people. So we're going to have to start dealing with that. Wow, and our production has dropped down to 81. Might be a little dicey here for a minute. Might be a little dicey.